Here we are paddling towards the Barron Canyon of Algonquin Park. This was our first portaging trip as a family. Here's how it went. The crew consisted of myself, Kyle, my girlfriend Farah, my sister Giselle, my brother Warren, his wife Ariana, and lastly my father, Pablito. We had one goal in mind, and that was to reach the Barron Canyon.
How do you feel? We just got on the water.
Like free, like a bird, like a fish.
It's wonderful, it's beautiful, and the great northern
Different perspectives. Our leaders are down there. We don't even know where we're going.
You're the leader.
Canoe style.
Dropping in the water.
Look here, Dad. Made it to the first portage. How do you feel, Dad? This is the true challenge.
But it wasn't a challenge. Not yet, at least. Plus, the first few portages were just a few feet, so it wasn't too hard. We don't get to do activities like this often since our family has such hectic schedules, so it was just nice to be with them together in this unique situation.
Little snack stop.
Sesame sticks? Anyone? Sesame stick? I'll take a sesame stick.
Our
Oh,
first
yes,
food break was
please.
taken on Stratton Lake, where we combined our boats together as if we were Voltron. It was cut short, unfortunately, due to the approaching rain.
Back into the shallow area. I hope we're going the right way. How are you feeling right now, Dad? Making our way to our second portage.
Paddling through Stratton wasn't too hard, especially since the wind carried
So
us.
many rocks.
The next lake was St. Andrews, the location of our first campsite.
The sun came out.
We go this way?
It's looking nice. Our portage is over there, Dad. We gotta go this way where they're going. Wow, this doesn't even do it justice.
We only had enough time to set up a crappy little shelter before it started pouring.
It's starting to rain and pour. We're completely underneath this cloud. This is the situation right now. Trying to make like Greek salad with this low ass tarp.
This is your
Who's that?
face.
Sad boys over there.
Yeah.
I know it seems bad, but honestly, there's something therapeutic about just sitting underneath a tarp under the rain, sharing our thoughts while eating. I kinda wish it lasted longer, but the sun had to creep out at some point.
too fresh. I think we just need to cut small, like we just need to find like small ones and then you can chop them.
Wow, this looks so nice
Park
though.
ranger.
Like that one.
Oh, park ranger, you help us.
You gotta do both together.
Oh yeah.
We would continue this process of cutting and hacking at wood for quite a while. Whoever wasn't sawing or chopping had to go into the forest and scavenge for whatever wood we could use for the fire.
Mystery box. It's part of the toilet, yeah?
It's a toilet.
Rip!
It's a toilet.
I thought there was gonna be dry wood in there. That would have been really good.
Eventually, they would find some wood, and we would get a fire started in no time.
That's supposed to be mine, but you took it, so it's not my fault.
We had hot dogs and hamburgers that
There's
night.
another half. It's not, you're not alone. There's another half here.
No, is this still yours back here?
Yeah, that's still mine. End of the night routine.
The best part about going with a big group camping is that everyone has their own role. This trip made for a great team bonding exercise.
In my ear, I was like, I can't sleep. I'm too paranoid. Yeah. I didn't sleep all night.
The first day's breakfast was made by Ariana and Warren. They made oatmeal mixed with fruit. It was really nice since I don't usually eat something like this when I'm on trail. We only had enough time to speak about the night before we would have to head out. The weather wasn't looking too nice, but that didn't take away from the beauty of the park. Just carrying a canoe right now. Just carrying a canoe. Fucking heavy.
We just did our longest portage, but we still have a longer one. How do you feel, Dad? How do you feel? How do you feel?
Feel like broke my back.
Yeah, Mom should carry a canoe. It's the morning. Pretty cloudy. But we're gonna make our way to the canyon.
One person on a tent.
We eventually made it to our second campsite on the southern part of Opaleson Lake. We had a nice view off of the shore along with a lot of space to explore.
Welcome to my crib. Here's the views. Cut up the stuff on here. Gonna wake up early. Hopefully it's a sunrise and not this cloudy.
We didn't wake up early.
A little bench area. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? How do you feel?
Gang.
It's getting a little more chilly. Everyone's picking up their tents right now.
We had a lot of chores to do before we would head out to the Barron Canyon. This time we would work much faster since we were more familiar with our roles.
Dan's putting in work.
It's an everyday thing. Fuck. It's light work, bro.
This log, huh? Boom, baby. Wait, didn't you just set it up?
Oh, this is this? Yeah. Because before I hope you like this.
Oh, it tastes bad raw.
This is not even like the proper spot to put it.
After hours of canoeing, the last thing we wanted
Oh,
to do
shoot.
were these mundane
Yeah.
chores.
Okay, attempt 3. Oh my god. Here we go.
Excited to see the
Nice.
canyon, we rushed to get everything done.
Nice.
We then separated into 2 canoes, 3 people each. Warren, Ariana, and my dad in one, while Giselle, Farah, and I in the other. Now would be a race against the clock to get to the Barron Canyon before sundown. Giselle, how's your first time
Ooh.
portaging?
You know what? It's super fun. I wish I wasn't sick, but it's a great time. Oh, look at Smarty. Really out here.
Farah,
Gonna
bringing
sleep
the
on that
thing.
wet, This is it.
After a few long portages, we finally made it.
Die,
Hold on,
I
hold on.
become a bird. So I'm gonna live there.
You don't want to live in the Philippines?
Before paddling through the canyon, we decided to have one last snack together, since we would need a lot of energy to travel back to camp before sunset.
No.
No.
I have the
were only able to admire the canyon for such a short period since the sun was setting fast and the night was soon approaching. To make the situation better, we decided to do what anybody else would do and sing some classic songs.
So pretty.
Like a rock.
Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Oh my god, it's so nice now.
What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no something, something.
Yeah, if you thought that was annoying, we did about like 50 songs and ruined them for everyone. But that wasn't as annoying or as terrible as the strenuous path we were about to take on the portages back to our campsite.
Double padded shoulders.
Easy money.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, this feels so much better.
So much better.
So much padding.
Yes, our shoulders started hurting so much that we needed to use our life jackets as pads to protect ourselves from the canoe.
Are you okay?
This is the long walk.
These were the most strenuous portages we've had yet, and they were taking a toll on my dad.
Dad, how's your first time portaging?
Never again.
Why?
Too much walking with the rocks and the roots, and we carry the canoe. Woo. What do you expect? Maybe this is my first and last.
But you're happy you did it, right?
According to my experience. Thank you for inviting me.
I remember hoping that my father was joking about what he just said, especially since I really enjoyed his company and was hoping to make this a yearly thing.
Finished that last portage.
I mean, I'm lacking that.
Whew. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Portage. Portage.
How you guys feeling? How you feeling? Oh, going back home. Algonquin Park.
You know what?
It was nice to have the sun come out by the end of it. It was kind of like a reward for reaching the canyon.
Straight chilling the whole ride.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
The sunset was so beautiful, dreamlike almost, as if we were inside a Frank Ocean song or something. And when you're sitting there on the canoe in the water, it's so still you can see the reflection of everything above it. You start to realize life's good, really good. But of course, not all good things could last forever.
This mother effer.
Giselle, we gotta go.
I know. You get a call right now, but it's like there's no signal.
Vegetables. I was like, wait, what?
Got a nice teepee going on. And then we got the firewood over here, nice. And you can't really see it, but look at that view. Dang.
Really?
Yeah, you can, but yeah, you could see it.
We definitely had the best view of the sunset at the park this night, and I think it was the best sunset I've ever experienced camping. It felt unreal, like we were in a mech ad campaign or something. For dinner, my brother cooked up some damn good Filipino corned beef.
Okay, put the rice here to make it safe.
We really eating gourmet on this trip. I did not. How y'all liking it? How y'all liking it?
Bless.
All that was left was just to chill, relax, and eat. Something everybody was so ready to do.
Oh, bingo.
Well, so much for that. Oh, look, nice. It didn't fall though.
I know.
Oh, that's awesome. That's perfect.
I like mine golden.
And black though at the end. Oh yeah, golden. Golden. Guys, what's up with your... Let me roast one.
By the end of the night, it was getting so cold. My feet couldn't handle it, they were freezing. We even tried throwing in more pine and leaves into the fire, but it just wasn't big enough and the pain was too much, so we had to call it a night.
How's your fried rice?
Okay now. Maybe other people can.
Good meal for the morning.
Our bodies were so sore from the day before. Those portages really beat us up. Warren, Giselle, and my dad were awake first, but the rest of us just had to sleep in.
Sun's finally out.
It's funny how the weather can change your perception of a place, but no matter rain or shine or even overcast, the forest is always so beautiful.
Boys in the kitchen. The dad just chilling. Watching them work. That's the theme of this entire trip.
It really was a theme. My dad didn't do much work, but it's alright, because he's been working all his life. He deserved this break. Here's Dad. Watching, doing some fishing. How's it feel?
There's no fish.
There's no
Oh,
fish.
there's small fish there.
The school of fish.
Little turtle.
That's a
Oh,
real
those
turtle. My
fish.
Tommy John's turtle.
Oh, look, there's small fish here.
Yeah, yeah. See, you should go fishing here.
That means there's big fish.
Yeah, there's definitely big fish. Like,
We can catch
Oh.
this turtle.
This guy actually tried to catch the turtle, but he failed.
The life of a photographer.
I like the layers. Okay, you're good.
That's it?
Yeah. It's very comfy, huh?
Since we weren't leaving until
Maybe we
noon,
should
I
just
thought it
lay
would be a good idea to spend my time taking portraits of the others. These aren't the best photos, but I really like how they capture every single character on this trip, whether it's through the colors or being out of focus. The imperfections helped everyone shine. But I wouldn't let them outshine me, of course.
Hey, welcome to Algonquin. If you come with me, you'll see where Meg has sponsored us this new place. If you have a Meg membership, you can camp nice.
Lunch was our final meal before heading out, which would be dry food.
Wait, let me smell it.
What the heck?
Looks
What
like,
did you eat?
looks like freaking
Thai.
dirt and worms.
It looks like
Oh shoot.
looks like pasta.
Mm.
Are the noodles hard or they're good?
Chewy. This is good if you're like really hungry.
Okay.
It's still good though.
Oh, hey, welcome.
Oh,
Welcome
God. We're leaving the park now. Say bye, Dad. Bye, Algonquin Park. Wow.
Going back to the Toronto Fitness Portaging and Barron
Canyon.
Canyon,
How's your
Algonquin
experience?
Lake, Algonquin Park.
How's your experience?
The experience is very good. I should do it again. Yeah,
What's the truth? Tell me the truth.
I like portaging. That's the best experience in my life.
What a freaking liar. How was your experience?
It was a beautiful weekend with beautiful people and delicious food.
Wow. Cookie cutter answer. Wow. The leaders, as always, back there. Good weekend. Even though I was sick, we pulled through. We would definitely do this again. It was very beautiful. First time in Algonquin. Loved it. Didn't really see much wildlife, but there's always the rest of my life to see that. So everyone was safe, no injuries, everything went smooth. It was a successful trip.
We had 5 hours left of portaging and canoeing left to go, so we decided to double in pace.
The world on my back right now. Paddling it. Olé. We just took this shortcut over here.
I desperately didn't want to do the last 2 portages, so I found a shortcut, or at least I thought it was.
I lied, so it wasn't a shortcut because there's rapids there, but this guy tipped the first one to tip into the canoe because he was talking so much. Got his shoes wet. Got everything here wet.
A valuable lesson we learned here was to not take shortcuts. Stay on the trail. They'll be better for you.
He's gonna cut
Or she's never gonna come ever.
because he fell in the canoe. Finished the last biggest portage, and now we're going to do the longest canoe.
It really was the longest canoe. Stratton Lake took us about 2 hours to paddle through.
Canoeing.
I love this thing.
Ooh.
While paddling through that long stretch, I couldn't help feel anything but joy. We did it. We overcame every obstacle and conquered the Barron Canyon. I was already thinking about our next portage. Where would it be next year? How would it go? One thing's for sure, we'll definitely go again next year.
Anything can happen in the Barron Canyon Falls.